Hi guys, my name is April. This is the incredible Thomas, and in the back is, where is she? Oh, she's asleep. Is she asleep? What is she doing? She's so cute, Victoria Cockatoo, and over there is Maui. He's marching back and forth on that window. Anyways, so I wanted to do an intro for the video that I'm going to show you, because the intro I did at the Chloe Sanctuary was loud and I didn't get to explain what I needed to explain about Don Scott. He runs the Chloe Sanctuary. The Chloe Sanctuary is a 501c3. It is home to 12 cockatoos, and those 12 cockatoos have severe disabilities, all kinds of medical disabilities. And then also it's home to an African gray and a double yellow-headed Amazon that has neurological problems. Now, these birds would be basically dead. They would not have a second chance if it wasn't for Dawn. And they require 24/7 care. And that is what Dawn gives to them. He is there day and night. He doesn't take a vacation. He doesn't go anywhere. When he goes somewhere, it's usually to the vet, to his own doctors, or it's an errand. That's his life. He has literally given his life to the birds. So you guys are about to, you're gonna understand in a few minutes. Another thing about Don is he has a very educational YouTube channel called the Chloe Sanctuary. Now Don makes these incredible videos, educational videos about cockatoos. And it'll also, you can learn about parrots of all kinds, but the focus is on cockatoos. He is the cockatoo whisperer. So if you have any issues with your cockatoos, if you're thinking about getting cockatoos, check out the link below. He also has a Patreon channel. Check out the link below. He also has a website. Check it out below. And then at the end, oh hi, come over here. At the end, after you've cried a bit and used all your Kleenex, and you want to help support the birds at the Chloe Sanctuary, help Dawn pay those medical bills. They have to be expensive, right? Please donate if you can. If not, share this video so other people can see it. All right, guys. Yeah, are we ready? Let's get to the video. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay, bye. Want to say goodbye? Yeah. Bye. You're so smart. Today, I'm somewhere very special. I'm at the Chloe Sanctuary. What? We're going to meet Don Scott and his 14 cockatoos. No? Yes? This is a collab that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. It's gonna be awesome. And there's Dawn. There's Dawn. Oh my gosh. So that is an awesome aviary. Now who's this, Dawn?
That's Peaches.
Oh, that's right. Hi, Peaches. How's Peaches feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
She was feeling really good until Lorelai bothered her. So.
Oh, Lorelai. Hey, who's this?
She's brain damaged, so she swallowed blood, so they had to surgically remove it, so.
Oh, baby. How did that happen?
I don't know. I just know that I talked to her vet, and that's what he said was her major problem. So.
Oh,
The one that actually did the surgery, so.
who's this?
That's Bob.
Oh, hey, Bob. I know you. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Yeah.
Watch out, he might nip you. I don't think so, but.
You never know.
Well, if he's in his own cage, he would.
Yeah.
But,
Hi,
I'm not sure
Bob.
about the aviary. I've never had anybody put their fingers through it.
Hi, Bob.
It's not like they don't have a whole medical kit, but.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Who's this? Who are you? Yeah.
Cecil.
Oh, hi, Cecil. Oh, hi, Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Yeah. How many birds do you have, Don?
14.
Oh my God! All cockatoos.
No.
No?
Now I have a Hannibal Lecter, I mean, Marley, double yellow-headed Amazon, and we have
Right now?
Buddy the Congo, yeah, Buddy the Congo African Gray.
Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, baby. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. Hold that mobile! We're editing the video right now, and it is long but full of information. So this is what I'm gonna do. Oh! Did you just sneeze? My gosh, he sneezes every time when he gets excited. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna split it in half. We're gonna have 2 videos. So the first video is gonna be basically Don outside. He is giving so much awesome information about cockatoos. I can't delete any of it. I was like trying to figure out how can I make this video smaller, shorter. Like the attention span of humans is about 4 minutes. The attention span of birds, I think, is a bit more. So I'm gonna split it in half because I want you guys to watch the entire thing. It is so valuable. The second video is gonna be Don inside going through his nightly routine, him giving medication to the birds, loving his birds. It just shows basically what he does, a little glimpse of what he does, and it's just so touching. So that's what's gonna happen, right? Okay, so let's finish editing this.
I know. Now that's territoriality right there. Heard that sound? She's threatening that nobody's going to take my mate away from me. So.
And when they scream, Don, how do you handle that? How do you not encourage the screaming behavior? What is the mistake many people make with birds that encourages screaming?
Well, screaming is different than squawking.
Life is like with cockatoos. Pippa does not like me, so I'm gonna stand away. Wow, can you imagine living with a cockatoo that screams, which most cockatoos do for 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years. That's a huge commitment.
Yeah, screaming is when they repeat a squawk about every 1 or 2 seconds. So you squawk, 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 and they can do that for hours. Bob used to be a screamer. There's no simple solution to it. You really should have the tools of applied behavior analysis, but the basic technique that's usually used is that when they scream, you ignore it. You have to be careful with that though, because if you ignore something, that's called extinction. It's not going to work by itself. You have to wait until they make a sound you like, and then run right over. There you go, baby. And then run right over and give them a treat. Now that treat has to be something you've taken out of their diet, so they only get it when they're being rewarded. And so what you're doing there is you're telling them that making that squawk every second or so and repeating it over and over again won't get them anything. But when they make a sound you do like, for example, when Bob says Babaloo, if I run over and give him a treat, he's going to say Babaloo a lot more. Bob now says I love you, but he tags it with I love you, Babaloo. Right, Bob?
I bet you don't have much hearing anymore, though. How's your hearing? Yeah.
I've lost about 20% of my upper range.
I believe it, because they're so loud. I think a lot of people don't realize how loud cockatoos are.
It's only 125 decibels. It's about the sound of a 747 taking off at 50 feet.
Wow, can you imagine that if you have an HOA? It's not going to work very well, right? See, I'm so glad I'm here because Victoria Cockatoo is pretty much mute. She doesn't say anything, so I feel I don't give, you know, the reality of what a cockatoo's like, because she's just, you know, she's quiet. She's just doesn't make any noise. But now this is what we're talking about. They're quiet right now, but when I walked in, it was loud. And to keep a cockatoo entertained, healthy, happy, what does that take, Don?
Constant work.
Yeah.
You got environmental enrichment. You have to get them out at least 3 hours a day, more if you can.
Yeah.
And they've got to be treated like they were little people.
They are.
You know, they're aliens to us, and they don't react the same way. But you've got to give them the same kind of consideration you would a human being. So.
Absolutely. And now, how did you get most of these birds?
Relinquishment.
So do you think many of these were bought as cute little babies at one time?
Yeah, Coco definitely was a cute little baby, although she tore her feathers up at a year old.
Where's Coco?
Where are you, Coco? Oh, I think that's Coco right there.
Hi.
Coco.
There's Coco. There's Coco. You know, that's the thing that I've been getting a lot lately from people. They've been messaging me going, I just retired. I'm 60 years old, and now I have time for a baby cockatoo. What do you think about that, Dawn? Is that a good idea?
No.
I mean, it's wild, right?
Yeah.
Because how long do these guys live?
80 years.
And how loud are they?
125 decibels.
Yeah. So especially, you know, a lot of these people are going to be in senior citizen living probably 10, 15 years after being 60. How do you think a place like that's going to handle all this noise?
No, they don't.
It's just not going to work, right?
No.
Yeah. So that always blows my mind. When people retire, they think, finally, I can have that cute, cuddly, adorable, precious little baby cockatoo. And it doesn't work. No. Yeah.
Especially since they become adolescents at 4.5 years old.
Right.
3.5 to 4.5 years old, and an adolescent alien in your home, you know, just trying to keep them from getting out of control is almost impossible.
Do you get calls of cockatoo of people wanting to relinquish their birds? Constantly. We do too. I do too. How many calls do you think you get a month?
If you average it in a year, it's about 2 calls a day.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's not all calls, it's emails, it's Facebook, Twitter, but
so that's like 700 calls a year.
Yeah, those people who are 60 and want a bird, if they just adopt one that's already gone past adolescence, they're going to be doing a lot better than getting a baby.
Right.
Because you know what issues you've got to deal with. When you have a baby, you don't know what's going to happen. Plus, who wants to bring more slaves into the world? So
exactly, and that's what I always try to say on my channel, because a lot of people will say opposite. They'll say, get a baby, because then you know what you're getting, and that's so not true. How many people's human kids were so sweet as babies and they turned out to be a total nightmare when they became teenagers and adults? It's more unpredictable with parrots. So, and we mess them up, that's the thing. Because so many people get these birds, they want a good beginner bird, and I don't know what a beginner bird is, Don. Do you know? There's no such thing. Even parakeets, they are highly intelligent. They are complicated. There's no such thing as a beginner bird. That word actually really pisses me off. I mean, look at this. This is a living creature. So, everybody says, go with the baby. Go with the baby. You know what you're getting. But you know what? The time where people get rid of the birds is usually around 3 years old. That's when they become sexually mature, and that's when they start to bite, because we've taught them to bite. We do not know how to handle the behaviors. and we just mess them up.
Speaking of out of control, here's Lorelei.
Oh, Lorelei.
She had a Deslorelin implant that knocked down her hormone level. They're supposed to last 6 months. It lasted a month and a half. Now she's like a washing machine on spin cycle.
Oh, man. And
2
those
eggs already this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, what happens with that if they start becoming chronic egg layers? It can get expensive and dangerous for the bird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Victoria, if I start petting her more than 5 minutes, she starts getting really hot and heavy, and the little cluck, 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 cluck.
Well, you get them mated to you, and then you've got territoriality. You don't want that.
And a lot of people think it's cute.
Yeah, I read a story in the newspaper once up in Los Angeles. A couple of guys busted into a guy's house, and they were beating him up. They were going to rob him. Well, he had a macaw. And in the wild, what any one of these birds will do to protect their mate, if the mate is truly threatened, is they'll rip out their eye of the attacker. That's what the bird did. It went down and took one of the assailants and ripped his eye out.
Wow.
Now, obviously, they cut the 2 guys.
Yeah.
Fortunately, nothing happened to the bird. I mean, it wasn't like they came in and took the bird away.
Thank
for what it
goodness.
Did, so.
And he probably left his eye behind, so there was probably all kinds of DNA. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, when you get a cockatoo, you want everybody in the family to be interacting. Everybody to be special treat givers.
But they have to know what they're doing, because you have somebody in there that starts doing what you tell them not to. You have them petting the bird improperly, and that bird gets mated to them, or you're not watching to see those signs. If the bird starts to flare their tail, especially with a male, the bird starts to vibrate, you've got to get them away from that person before they become mated. Or then you've got to use a lot of other tools, and most people don't have those behavioral science tools to correct those problems.
Now, improper petting, I've done a video on that, but where is the proper place to pet a parrot?
The only place you can pet them is where they can't preen themselves.
Okay.
They can't preen their cheeks. They can't preen the top of their head. Their beaks are sensitive too, so you want to be careful you're not petting their beak.
All right, so another thing that happens when you've got birds is the cleanup. Just the cleanup after, a couple hours of playing. Look what's going on here. It's major. We got the gloves on, we got the poop off, we got brushes going, so it's something to really think about. They make a mess. Huge mess. And this thing was clean before they came in here, huh, Don? Mm-hmm. And in 2 hours, we have this. So this has to happen. You got to get the poop off. You can't leave it like this, because poop is not good for you or the birds. So you got to clean everything. So if you got parrots, you're going to be cleaning a whole lot.
The second poop hits the ground, even
Parrot
though it
poop?
has no bacteria in it naturally. It's just a magnet. It's like putting on a petri dish. It's
just grows bacteria.
Yeah, but they don't really have much inside, but outside, once it hits outside, it'll attract it.
What happens to parrot poop when it dries? All kinds of crazy stuff, right?
Yeah, it does. The nice thing about it, though, is it comes up pretty well, unless you've been feeding them blueberries.
What happens if people do not clean their cages regularly?
As in at least once a day?
Yeah.
You got a bacteria buildup there, and it can give your bird, an infection and kill it.
Because does the poop have spores, and does it rise into the air?
No, it's not so much that. They can pick up spores that are in the air and then feed them, because these birds don't really have much in the way of bacteria in their system.
So it's what it collects along the way.
It just catches what's in the air. A lot of that junk that it picks up is off of us, because we're nasty. Mammals are nasty.
We're disgusting. We have gram-negative bacteria. We are truly disgusting. We're just disgusting. I call parrots delicate little rainforest flowers. Mm-hmm. And then we've got, our disgusting germs, and we're making our birds sick because we don't pay attention to how dirty our cell phones are, or we don't wash our hands properly after doing something. I mean, you gotta really be careful when you've got a parrot. There's a lot involved when having a bird. And sanitation, keeping your germs away from your birds is a big deal. And people sometimes don't know why their birds are getting sick.
They do.
And it might be them causing it.
And most diseases that they get are caused by humans. And what happens is that we gather all of these farm animals together. And this happened in the very beginning when we became agriculturalists. And then those animals, which are kept too close together, develop diseases. That's why we have PDD. That's where we got beak and feather disease. That's where most of the diseases they die come from our keeping these ranch animals.
Mixing them, mixing like chickens with pigs and
It's
chickens
just,
with
just too many
parrots.
animals
It's just
in one place.
Yeah.
It causes that. It causes
shouldn't
a lot of
happen.
disease.
Shouldn't happen.
You don't want to ever buy anything from a bird store that has birds, because things like PDD, that virus transmits in feather dust. It transmits in dried feces, and it will kill your birds in horrible ways. Their organs enlarge and they die horribly. And this is an epidemic throughout the country. It's also true of beak and feather disease. It transmits that way. Psittacosis transmits that way, and psittacosis can kill you.
Oh yeah, and I had it. And look, guys, speaking of psittacosis, which I no longer, but this is why I'm, all hooked up with the heart monitor. Like, I have to have a heart surgery, another one. And so, yeah, I do have a previous video where one of my rescues had psittacosis. This was before I knew about quarantine many years ago. Right. And it spread to my kite Puffy. He was sick. I didn't know what was happening. Took him in. I had been sick for 4 months. I didn't know what was happening. My rescue bird died. And the vet said, Puffy's positive. You should go get tested. You probably are. But by then, so much damage had been done. It was too late. And it did damage my organs, and it damaged my heart. So now, everybody's always asking me what's going on with my heart. This is what's going on, guys. I've got it. This is like a GPS. So when my heart has a major event, it goes up. And then they will dial 911 wherever I am and send an ambulance. So I'm a ticking time bomb.
Kind of like what this does. Kind of like my watch does that too.
Oh, really?
This is the one that has the heart monitor.
Oh, that looks way more. These things. I gotta like. They're killing me.
I don't know if it would
They're
work
just
for you.
eating my skin.
What kind of a heart rhythm do you get?
I go into AFib.
This tells the AFib.
Does it?
It does. It detects AFib.
Well, this is what my insurance is paying for right now.
They probably would pay for this too.
Ooh, I want that.
Apple Watch for $400.
Oh, I'm not an Apple person. I refuse. No, I might need to.
I buy the stuff that isn't stolen when you can buy the.
Stop! I love my Samsung. Stop! We're not doing this right now, Dawn. We're not doing this.